Good morning, gentlemen.
Good to see you.
be with you both.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's been a little while.
You've been busy.
I mean, I've been a little busy. Yeah. Everybody's busy. You know, that's not an excuse. Right? Everybody's got obligations. But,
we've been out on campus a ton so far this year, and everything looks beautiful. The sports programs are doing so well.
Yeah.
Bart and Dory have gotten together, and we have some exciting news about
the film class. Spring Arbor will shoot for credit.
Yeah.
They will have a live special on JTV next month where the students will premiere their films they've been working on all semester.
That's incredible. Yeah. That's incredible. Thank you for doing that. I mean, I tell you, Christy and I have tried to make. So every semester they have a big reveal of the films that they produce, and it's a fun show. I mean, to come and sit in the white auditorium and watch all those clips and see the actors and and the producers and the directors and writers kind of introduce it, and it's amazing what the students produce in that time. So that's wonderful to provide them a venue like that. That'll be great.
Yeah. I have a part in one of the films.
Do you really?
Yeah, I have a cameo.
Really? I didn't know that until just now.
So it's like you and M. Night Shyamalan, right? I mean, that's
exactly. Exactly.
I was also on campus for homecoming. What a great day that was.
Oh, I mean, the weather was gorgeous. We had so much energy, so many people coming back to visit the campus and participate in the activities. It was a great time. It was a great time. Yeah, in fact, you surprised me because you were kind of incognito that day too.
Yes.
You were, had a ball cap on
and the hooded sweatshirt,
and I'm like, oh, hey, Bart,
there he is. There he is.
I was there for the donuts.
Were you? The donuts and the cider are ridiculously popular.
Yeah.
They are.
What a cool thing you do for the community, and it really was a beautiful day. It's hot.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
Yeah, continuing with things going on campus, the fall sports have had a great season, and volleyball's still playing. I think, is Christy down watching them?
Well, so Christy and I both we made a trip down to Indiana.
Was that
yesterday evening, and we hope that they will. So this is the best year. So we've had so much success in all of our sports, which has been amazing to see. And in fact, both of our basketball teams have started the year, and they're going to be phenomenal. If you want to see high quality basketball here locally, I mean, these are phenomenal players. A lot of whom go on and they play professionally.
Absolutely.
And our men's and women's team are both doing it particularly well. Our soccer teams did great. It looks like our women's soccer team will advance to the national tournament. But our volleyball team, they have had the most wins that they've ever had in program history.
Wow.
The conference in which we play in is the premier conference in the country. We finished fourth in we made it to the Final Four of that tournament. Pretty sure that they'll make an advance into the national tournament. But Indiana Wesleyan is the defending national champion. They're the highest ranked team in the country. We played them really tight last night. We came out on the losing end, but I think it was a real good showing by our ladies, and it's fun to see.
It's good volleyball. It's fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
They're your rivalry, that school.
They're all rivals in the athletic world.
Yeah. Well, it is. I'll tell you, this is kind of a strange thing for Spring Arbor because we really, we're the only Michigan institution in the Crossroads League. So you have these natural rivalries that exist, because of locale and things like that. In Michigan, we do have rivalries within Michigan, but but it's not the same thing as Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan are 10 minutes apart from each other. They hate each other, right? We're not quite that way. We don't. But so we love everybody, right? I mean,
absolutely.
I think that's what we're called, to love everybody, right?
You've been busy partnering with local schools, and really the town's been abuzz about this. This is just an incredible initiative. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, it's actually, I'll tell you, I'll give credit where credit is due within this. I mean, so, I think it was Grass Lake Schools reached out to us initially around this. They had heard something about it somewhere and, approached us and said, what would it look like? And we thought, hey, this is a great way for us to, particularly with the Jackson County institutions, Jackson County schools that we're familiar with. We draw so many students from them already, to be able to come back and say, okay, if you have a 3.0 GPA, at your school, we know that you can be successful. And so why don't we just open this up and create pathways that are simple, they're straightforward, and you don't have to worry about, if you have a 3. So basically what it is, if you have a 3.0 at your school, in one of these institutions that we've forged a relationship. I think we have right now, it's like 10 of the 12 Jackson County schools that have entered into this. We've got, I've got a signing with another institution today, and then I've got one scheduled next week that we'll go and do. And so our desire is to extend that to all of the Jackson County schools. And it's just a direct admit. So rather than having to go through the process of, doing a full application, sometimes writing the essays, getting all of those things, and then going, oh, am I going to get in? We're
That's awesome.
we're decently selective within that.
Sure.
And but so now, if you have that 3.0, you know that you'll have an automatic pathway into Spring Arbor University, and it's a great partnership. We're excited about it, and we think it'll serve the community well.
Dr. Ellis, I think about families who may think college is out of reach for them, a complete game changer, really, in a couple different facets.
Yeah, well, and I think it's one thing to get in. I think the other thing is to look at the affordability aspect of what we do, because we are very competitive with our pricing as well as our scholarship opportunities, and we don't want price to be an inhibitor for folks to come. The other thing I think is an interesting thing. I think broadly you hear some of these questions around the value of higher education today, and it's just in some ways it's I guess the way I would say it's a little bit comical for me. So I say, okay, so you don't want to have lawyers, you don't want to have doctors, you don't want to have school teachers, you don't want to have CPAs, you don't want to have I do agree. College is not for everybody, and it isn't. And I think I think the trades are a very honorable way to go. We need skilled labor. We need people in the trades. But to say that the value of higher education is diminished is ridiculous. In fact, I think 20 years ago you would say, and I think the mark, what you would look at and say that a person who has a baccalaureate degree, so a bachelor's degree, versus somebody with just a high school diploma would make around $500,000 to $750,000 more over their lifetime, over the course of their lifetime, on average, right? Not everybody, that doesn't happen with everybody. Today, that's at $1.5 million, and so somebody with a bachelor's degree versus somebody who just has a high school diploma, on average. So again, it's not an absolute thing, but on average makes $1.5 million more over the course of their lifetime. And then you look at a place like Spring Arbor, which I think is, I'll put our record against anybody's. For the last 5 years, we have been running at 99% positive outcomes. That's awesome. Meaning, that 99% of our graduates, when they, within 6 months of their graduation, are employed or in grad school or in a manner of military service or things along those lines that are consistent with their desires. And so it's Spring Arbor is a world-class institution right in the backyard of Jackson County. And that's one of the things we're thankful for, the opportunity to forge some of these relationships with the schools, because you don't have to go far to have a world-class education if you're from Jackson County.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
And those kids save money, they can live at home if they want. And, that's huge.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
Andy, I was going to ask you, did you think Brent looks a little older today?
No.
Well, he's a grandfather for the very first time.
I am a grandfather. I'm a grandpa. Yeah, which
Congrats.
is kind of, it's the gray hair's coming. It's coming in there, and it's.
Congrats. That's
awesome. Thank you. I had everybody that is a grandfather knows knows what it feels. What it feels like, right? And but you can't describe it, right? All of a sudden you're like, this is my child's child,
right?
And to stop and think about the significance of that heritage and the lineage that is there, and and it just the significance of that gift is in some way staggering. It's a staggering thing, and man, we're blessed. So
you get to spoil the grandkids, and you don't have to worry about discipline.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So It's our daughter's child. They live in Arizona. All of our kids are in Arizona, but so we'll be able to see little James Evan Collin is his name. We're going to see him again over Thanksgiving. We're going to be out there with the family, and yeah.
Big year for you. You had a wedding too, right?
Yeah, and I have another wedding. So our oldest son was married last April, and then our was it 2 April? Yeah, no, it was last April.
Yeah.
And then our youngest son will be married this April. So, but yeah, some good family achievements that are happening. It's just rich and thankful for the Lord and His blessing and the opportunity to welcome more people into the broader Ellis family that way. It's fun.
Awesome.
It's fun.
The hanging of the greens is right around the corner, and that's the official sign of Christmas.
It is crazy to think about how quickly Christmas is coming. Yeah. But I tell you, I'm so excited about hanging of the greens this year. It is going to be a spectacular concert, a wonderful reception afterwards. The Merry and Bright reception that takes place afterwards is going to be incredible. I'm excited. We're going to, it's not a premiere, but it'll be a premiere for Hanging of the Greens. One of the things that we have launched this year within our music program, which is doing spectacularly well, and that's where we get to sell. We get to really highlight our music program at Hanging of the Greens, and they're so good. But we have a new premier vocal ensemble group. That's called Rooted. They performed at commencement, a couple weeks ago for the first time, and I was just absolutely blown away with how good. I mean, they were so incredibly good, and so even if you just come out to listen to, we got a great orchestra, we got a great band, we got a great, but that vocal ensemble is phenomenal. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. You guys really do an awesome job with that event, and I'm looking forward to it as well. Yeah. Great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good to see you both.
Us as well. Spring Arbor President, Dr. Brent Ellis. More of the morning show after this.